All right. Welcome back everybody to Ash and L with the Cosmic Retell. We are here in a different way. We are on YouTube, so it's kind of exciting. Technically, something called Restream that goes into YouTube, but we're hoping that we get um, people to come and join because there's a lot of people on the North Node journey. So we're excited for you to join. I see that there's two people. Just feel free to share in the comments. Yesterday, what I did when I did my Wisdom Wednesday, I pulled up my YouTube so I could see comments, and I was trying to make sure it wasn't going to distract me. So I don't know if Ashley, you want to do that, but
I'm just gonna go with it today, Nelly. I'm gonna you
so
I'm gonna let you handle it. I'm
all
just
right. I see Tracy is with us. So hey Tracy.
here.
Yeah, so guys feel free to comments, questions and so on. Ashley and I are trying this a different way, so we're excited to see and appreciative of everybody to join. And it's the full moon today, Ashley. The
Oh
full
no.
moon in Sagittarius, it's already hit. It's really weird for it to hit in the morning for our time. Like I'm not like literally I think every conversation you and I have had around the full moon has always been towards nighttime.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's kind of strange this daytime one, but whatever. We'll just go with it. Sagittarius likes to be different, so we're taking it in the morning, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Hey, my moon is in Sagittarius, so the adventurous spirit is in me.
I was gonna say this is your time. Like it started this morning, so you're gonna have like all this power. I mean, we all get this energy, but I think the people who have Sagittarius in their big three, like definitely like feel it more. And
Yeah,
especially if you have a lot of Sagittarius placements on your chart. So cool.
absolutely.
All right. So are you doing anything special to bring in the full moon? Anything like in your routine?
Well, I know that I was planning on doing a live in one of my local groups today for card pulls for the full moon. So I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, I mean, just the normal kind of releasing with the full moon. I'm busy with work today. Got a lot of stuff kind of going on there. So nothing too crazy, just kind of the usual. And then doing, like I said, doing the card pulls. What about
Yes.
you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to integrate in all the full moon things in my day because I also had to work in the morning and I took a half day because it's my son's graduation tonight. So I was like, why would they put the graduation on the full moon? And of course, the rest of the universe does like the rest of the
Emotional.
world doesn't like care. But I'm
Emotional.
just like, okay, so I'm already going to be emotional. And it's also the full moon, which I mean, full moon and Sag, I think, shouldn't make me extra emotional. It's not like the Cancer Scorpio moon, but even so, just the nature of the full moon, because it's this time of release, right? Like release, forgiveness, like shedding whatever doesn't serve us. And so there is that, but also like, and I don't know if you heard this, but like it's also like really powerful because Jupiter is going to be leaving Taurus. It's in the 29th degree. And then I think it's also Venus and Neptune. I think I put it, let me see, I put it in my notes. I thought I put it in my notes. That there were like three planets that were conjunct, all like in 29 degrees. Yeah, Venus and Neptune also. So that's like powerful, like endings and then new beginnings. So Venus is like love stuff, like love and relationship, aesthetics. And then Neptune is like that dreamy energy, right? So maybe like connecting with our spirituality and dreams and all that. So I'm like, wow. So this is truly like a powerful closing day. Like we had the eclipse. I'm not feeling like that kind of chaotic energy. But even so, it's like, okay, stuff is ending and then new things are beginning. And so it's exciting, but scary, and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to I got a meditation in today, like in between like my break period. I got like a meditation in. I journaled a teensy bit, which is the first time I've journaled in a while. Um, I'm gonna put out like my crystals tonight, even though the full moon was this morning. I think it'll still be pretty potent. So I'm gonna put out my crystals. I'm gonna do the moon water, like all that kind of stuff. You said you're doing card pulls for the community, so that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love doing them. They're a lot of fun. It's interesting to see kind of what comes up. Really kind of been delving into a lot more of the spirituality stuff here lately, and been doing some mediumship readings, which is something that I kind of veered away from for a long time. But after kind of leaning into it some more, it's been pretty cool. And then some past life work as well. Been kind of getting into that as well. So um, it feels good. Things feel good. I feel motivated right now Just like hopeful for like what the future holds regarding spirituality.
You know what? Like whatever is meant for you is meant for you. And I know when you were like delving into it last year, like we started talking about the South Node, and
Yep.
then you were picking up some messages, and then you shut it down. And I was kind of upset that you shut it down because I really,
I wasn't ready.
I know. I'm like, Ashley, you have a gift. You can. I'm like, people need you, but I think you just like weren't ready for it. Was a lot.
Just
Like
a lot. It was
it
like
was
it
a,
all came at once, and I was like, no, like I had a lot of my own stuff that I needed to work through, but I'm kind of looking back to where I'm at now, a year later. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about things. So I'm building an amazing community locally, and I've got some people around me who are like-minded, and it's really it feels good. Things feel good.
yeah, we talked about that with your solar return in yeah, like July about like that sense of community and the 11th house and that how important that was for you, especially like for you locally, like to be able to have
Yeah.
that. And so like you're doing it. And so it's good. And I think it's like having that stable job, like I think takes the pressure off and then it
Mhm.
like allows you the time to like, delve in when you can, and it's the passion project. Cause I feel like when it's like solely when you're the entrepreneur and like your whole livelihood depends on it, then I think it makes it more pressure. Like that's what I felt for sure. So it's
Yeah.
like okay, now like I have the stable income and then I can work in my astrology, the coaching, all the extra learning, like when I can do it. And that's what I want to do. So like I carve out the time. So like to me it feels like special because like my time is more limited in there, but like I can do it. Whereas if I'm given all the time in the world, remember there was times where I was working where I could just like waste away time, because I wasn't utilizing it. Well, now it's like, okay, I have to do my master class. I only have an hour to sit down and do it. Like I have to be intentional. I use my Virgo energy to like really like get it done. So I think we're kind of both in that same spot with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's busy in a good way. But there definitely is this like having to have this sense of structure. Because yeah, I could sit here all day long and like pull cards and like practice with readings and like engage in that completely, and then completely ignore everything else in the world around me. So there's a balance there, and it can be hard to kind of find that balance sometimes.
Well, your Earth grand trine, so like you are like very grounded. Like you have that in you, right? You may not always feel it, right? And it may not always realize because you have two young kids, and then there's other kids. There's a lot of different things in your world, and you're still like finishing up your Saturn return. You just moved. You just started a job. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things that have happened in your life within
Yeah.
the last year ish, right?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. So but it's like all good things. It's like all things that needed to happen
Yeah.
to go
Absolutely.
forward. So now I feel like it's like almost like peace. Like you can kind of calm it
I feel
down.
like I can breathe for
Right.
like once, and I've not kind of felt that kind of like release for a while. It's just been kind of chaotic and a lot of pressure. So to finally be able to be at a place where I can breathe and just kind of chill out is nice. It's like a breath of fresh air.
Right. Yeah. So we need that. And we're going into summer, and lots of excitement ahead. And yeah, I think and more people are becoming spiritual. And I feel like a lot of people do want to connect to their past loved ones and their guides. And like
Mhm.
now you're ready to help. So like
Yeah,
now is like kind of like your divine timing to be able to do it. So yeah,
like,
I mean, it's a lot of good stuff
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I'm excited.
So yes, I want to talk about like the actual like things going on with the full moon. Also pull some cards. Give people some like information. Like we're gonna try to. I think every couple times a month. My hope is to do Ash and Nell and just give people information. So yeah, we'll see what the next topic is. Whatever seems of interest. We'll do another one. So we're gonna keep going in the summer. We were going last summer too, so we're gonna keep going. We
Yeah.
gotta we gotta talk astrology all the time. Astrology does not take a break. Looking at your transits, like I'm not saying I do it every day, but like I often do look to see like, where are the planets right now. And a lot of times there's not a big shift, but they do move a little bit. So I think it's just like, okay, what's going on cosmically? I have people who reach out to me like, hey, what's going on with the planets right now? So it's like all times of the year we want to know what's going on. So I think it's important. So I don't know if you looked this up. I looked mine up, I think, a couple days ago. Did you see in your chart where 2 degrees of Sagittarius is?
No, I actually don't know, and I don't know if I can find.
If you go to
Uh,
astro.com, I don't, I mean, I probably do have your chart saved on my computer. If I mess with it, that might mess with this thing. But yeah, if you find what house Sagittarius rules for you, because sometimes with some of the zodiacs, it could be like what's called intercepted houses where they could be in both of them. Like for my Sagittarius, I think it pretty much covers like one house. Like it's the third house for me. So that's where I have it. So I know like I'm going to be feeling this energy for me in the third house, which is the house of communication. And we're in Gemini energy, and I have a Gemini stellium. So I feel like communication for me like has been like through the roof. Like it's like constant. It's almost like feeling like it's like when it's Libra moon, I'm like always communicating. But I feel like in general, like even like these few days, I feel like there's just so many people that I've been like connecting with, like newer people, people like in different groups and communities. Um, like all the flirtatious talk, like because we're also like Venus 29th degree. I feel like that's that's coming up. So I know for me it's third house.
right.
Did you find yours to see where it's at?
Sixth house.
Okay, that's structure, right? So that's structure. That's like your health. It could be like getting in shape. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, it's like day to day routines. Like
Yeah,
you're
we were just talking about that balance, like a lot of the balance, and yeah,
It's also healing too. Because Ashley, that Virgo energy is like the sixth house is the healers. So it's like maybe also you thinking about like your role in terms of like healing other people. Because I know you've talked about different things, like different modalities. As
Mhm.
a therapist, like with your communication, obviously you do that.
Yeah,
But also like with your spirituality, like being able to give people readings and connecting with their loved ones. That's
yeah,
also in this healer role.
absolutely, absolutely. It's
So you're going to
fascinating.
be amping that up now. So that was interesting. So I brought that up because if those people on the group like are not aware of their chart or where certain placements are, that might be a good thing to look into. I know astro.com makes it easy. I know different apps also make it easy. You can pull up and you can see where that is. I like the wheel because I like to like literally see it so I can tell. Because if you just look at the table, you'll know the particular degrees for a planet, but you might not exactly know where the second degree is. So I think it's helpful to see the wheel. And I
Yeah,
don't know if some of the apps do that. I don't know. I haven't gotten into those apps as much. So that's my suggestion for everybody. So that was one thing. And then the other thing was knowing where 29 degrees of Taurus is, because right now we're rounding out Taurus. And well, okay, so let I should say this more correctly. Yeah, so knowing that, but also because we're going to be hitting Jupiter is going into Gemini. So right now Jupiter is in 29 degrees of Taurus. So just looking at your chart, like where is Taurus for you? Like which house, what energy, and then it's going to be moving. So like for me, my Taurus is my eighth house. So like it's going to be hitting there. But in 2 days, historically, Jupiter's going into Gemini energy. It hasn't been there for 12 years. That's why, like, I made that post the other day about, like, where was your life 12 years ago? Like, what were these big karmic things that were going on? And I know exactly what was my 12 years ago. And that's so crazy that, like, it had me reflect back to that because I know we had a lot of big things happen in our lives here that totally changed the trajectory. And
yeah,
everything was different, almost kind of like that eclipse.
yep.
So I don't know for you, you were a lot younger 12 years ago than I was.
Yeah.
You
So
remember
12 years ago, let me think, 10 years ago, I was 21, 2019. That's when I moved out to be on my own with $20 in my pocket. So it was a big time in my life. It was huge. That was like me claiming my independence. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, that makes sense. So it doesn't have to be karmic in a bad way, but like you set the stage, like that you did something different that maybe in a past lifetime your soul might not have done, but in this lifetime you ventured out and you did that. So
Yeah.
so
And you were
that's
talking about Taurus. My Taurus is in the 11th house.
okay. So that's what you know how you're talking about, like how you're doing all this stuff in your local community and the groups and like you're
Yeah.
fostering that. And I remember you were even doing things like that last year with some different like
It's amped up in the past couple of like
projects.
weeks. It's amped up a lot, and just the past couple of days, like I've put more stuff out there. I'm trying to put more options and like just bringing people together a little bit more and creating conversations. So that's great. That's fantastic. And they like I see these little things we talk about. We always talk about these things, Nelly, and then it's like as we're talking about it, I'm putting because we haven't connected a whole lot here recently. Things have just been busy. So it's not like we're having these conversations a lot beforehand. So I'm putting these pieces together as you're talking about it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we got to do it more. I know our lives have been busy for sure. We're hopefully summer will calm it down a little bit and like we'll have a little bit more time. So
Fingers crossed.
but yeah, so like I know the 11th house is like important for both of us. Like this, and I grew this community. Like we're, almost at 1,000 people, and like in February when I decided, okay, let's, see if we can grow more, we were just at like 525 people. It was like I kind of stagnant for a little bit of time. And I'm like, okay, something has to change. Like I want people to still like, be excited about astrology and the North Node and understand it better and all the different things. So I'm like, what can I do? And I just started, connecting with more people and thinking about different offerings I could do. And then I think that's when I started doing the master classes because you told me you need to be teaching astrology. And I said, okay. Well, I first didn't say okay, but I didn't agree at first.
You were you didn't say okay at first,
No,
Nelly.
I did not say okay at first. I'm like, Ashley, I don't have time for that. And I'm like, I'm not an astrologer. Like, I didn't feel like I was ready for that. But I decided, okay, I'm just going to, I'm like, when Ashley tells me something, she's connecting with spirit. I need to listen. So I'm going to listen. So I did. So yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm thinking of coming up with some courses. Like I have different ideas, like into the future of what I want to do. I'll have some time this summer where I can actually kind of think, and like this expansive energy right now, I think is going to kind of like spur us into new things, new chapters, which is like the Fool's card that came up this morning. The Balance card came up too, because I think when we're trying to do so many different things, so many plates spinning, like it's so hard. But like it's like, okay, let's get things balanced. What's our priorities? Like what things need to happen? I'm like writing everything down every day on my board, and just like I'm using my Virgo energy, just like knock it out, do this thing, even if it's a little thing, but it has to get done. It's off the list. So it's like I can't do my free time stuff until I get those big things done, because I'm like, just get that stuff out of the way so you can do the things you want to do. And I think now is the time, right? So you're going to be expanding with all of like your Sagittarius moon, and yeah, I think it's all cool stuff. Let
Yeah.
me see what else I had here about stuff for this particular moon. So I mentioned like the ending. So I mean that's in general like with full moon. There's a lot of completions, and so like the Sagittarius energy is all about like finding the truth, like finding our own inner truth. And Sagittarius is like I love the Sagittarius zodiac. I hope I come back as Sagittarius. I just love it's like the wisdom keeper, right? It's like the sage, the teacher that like imparts the lessons and like also makes things fun, and it's like optimistic. So
I
it's
love
like
it. I
we had
love
so much we had so much shit in the beginning of this year, like all that eclipse energy, Scorpio moon, like we had all this stuff that was like really tough stuff. And it's like, okay, like let's like have things like kind of settled and stuff. So hold on one second. So I think all of that is yeah, it's all kind of crazy stuff that we had to deal with. So yeah, exploration, travel, adventure, wisdom, like all these different things. So it's like we're in summer now, right? So it's like people generally want to travel, see new sights, meet new people. So I'm looking forward to that. Are you guys going away on vacation anywhere?
sorry, there's a bee over here. I will be going end of June to hopefully the beach, and then July we have another one as well. So still planning it all, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to just enjoy, like I don't know, it's just like I can finally, I feel like I can breathe, Nelly. Like the past couple of weeks, I don't know, past month, it just feels like a weight's been lifted. So
That's
um
amazing.
yeah, things feel good. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. All right. I was thinking we can pull some cards. Let me see if there's anything else about. I think we mentioned different things like sound bowls. Some people get into sound bowls, like drumming. Like
Yeah.
that's a good thing to do for like helping with release. I posted a good meditation. I don't remember if I posted it to this group or not, but I did that one meditation this morning. I thought was really good, very calming. Any kind of journaling. whatever you need to do. Some people like to get in nature and they like to get grounded. So sometimes I'll bike ride. So yeah, I would say for anybody, like if the day feels kind of hard because it's a full moon, um, do things to take care of you. It's like that self-care.
Mhm.
It's so important. So yeah, I was gonna do my magical Nordic tarot deck because I associate it with Sagittarius energy because it's all about like the exploration. I mean, I also have Moonology over here too. I didn't even pull Moonology for myself today, but I might pull a Moonology card as well. So let me grab that. Back a little bit. Yeah, I did my full moon spread this morning and actually used the I call them the Sagittarius cards, but they're because I see them as like exploring. And
Yeah.
so the message is pretty good. I usually do Moonology, but today I kind of just felt like I needed to do the other deck. So
Yeah, I'm not pulling Moonology today either. I'm doing the Spirit Animal Oracle. Um,
I might put I didn't I don't think I pulled Moonology for the group yesterday, so I might start with Moonology right now.
let's see.
This card wants to flip out. I had this card flip out for a couple people yesterday when I did my free card draws. Um,
I've got a little bee over here. Will not leave me alone. He's not bothering me. He's just like hanging out. Like
Yeah,
you.
this is the one I just got. You are good enough. So you are good enough. The full moon in Virgo. So I think that's a good reminder for all of us, especially as we're like shedding things and understanding who we are and what's going on, like in our world, like our authentic self. So yeah, this is full moon in Virgo. So even though we have right now the full moon in Sagittarius, I think this is a good message. So like knowing that we can accomplish anything we want to accomplish, and we're kind of on top of the world. So that's the one that came out.
I got one.
Did you get one? And then I'll pull one from the other cards.
I've got the Abundant Universe Will Provide. So I don't know if anybody else saw this recently. There was a video going around on like TikTok and Facebook about a white buffalo being born.
I haven't heard that.
And it said that I believe it was Native American saying there was something about it that it was a sign of a whole big new awareness spiritually, like things were going to be like a big change from a spiritual aspect and people were going to start kind of recognizing this, but it was like a good omen. But the abundant universe will provide, like
Hmm.
I don't know, that like that's the first thing that came to mind.
I think that's a good energy of abundance, right? Because like this
Yeah.
this having Jupiter and Gemini, and I think also Gemini season and the Sagittarius moon, like there's all that abundance.
Yeah.
Taurus. I think the Taurus season helped us get stable so we could have some of this abundance.
Yeah, and I'm getting to like don't worry about what you don't have. Look at what you do have. Like look at glass half full rather than glass half empty. Everything else the universe is going to provide it for you. Like you'll have the abundance. But the more that you look at the lack, the lack that you're going to see. Like you're when you focus on only that, you can't see everything else that's around you and the beauty of the things around you, right? Look at the whole big picture of what the universe has given you. Um,
You know what, Ashley, would just occur to me as you're talking? Totally, because Sagittarius is about the big picture. Gemini and Sagittarius are polar opposites. So I don't know why it didn't occur to me till just this moment. And we're literally in what Gemini Sun, and we're in Sagittarius Moon. So Gemini Sun, Gemini likes to like see the pieces, right, and like
mhm,
get caught up in the minutia, kind of how Virgo does. But then we have Sagittarius, who will take that content, that information, all this expansive stuff, but look at it in the holistic way. And I
mhm.
think that's pretty powerful too. So it's kind of interesting for us, even though I'm not Gemini, but with my Gemini stellium, I feel like I kind of lead with it. And I'm Gemini rising this year with my solar return. And you have Sagittarius for your moon. And you can kind of see the big picture, which like I feel like you and I always get along, and it's always so easy. But I
Yeah.
feel like we have like in the sense of having that opposite, like it allows us to work together. So
Yep.
it's not opposite. It's technically you could kind of think of it like an opposition, but like it's not in a bad way.
Right.
It's like, it's the compliment. It's like okay, I could get caught up in the details because here's Nellie like writing everything up, and then Ashley's like chill and like let's look at the big.
I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just better when I wing it.
we winged the last couple, but today I decided I would just kind of like come up with some notes. So yeah, that's I don't know why that didn't hit me, but yeah, like to these couple days, like we have the polarity, we have that opposition. But I think Gemini and Sag, like those two energies work pretty well together. So I'm feeling like pretty light. I mean, I had a lot of stuff going on because it was busy, but I didn't feel like overwhelmed. It was just like, yeah, I got to get all these things done, but they're really exciting things, that, and I just have to do them all. But it was just like, but there's times in my life where I have felt like busy, but like the world is crashing down on me busy. So I didn't feel that energy. I feel like Gemini definitely makes it lighter. And with the coming up with Sagittarius makes it better. Although we were like ending Scorpio, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so let me see what's going to come up. I wanted to do this deck. Nothing wants to flip out. All right. All right, Spirit, what do we need to know collectively? What is our adventure card? Okay. Ooh. I guess it wants us to deal with some harsh lessons today. Ten of Wands, responsibility. Not a bad thing, right? I mean, honestly, like think about it. 10 is like all about endings. We're ending some different things. I think taking responsibility for actions, maybe having boundaries, dealing with any kinds of different things. I don't know why my phone. I should have turned this thing off. I think I only had my phone on because we were looking at the YouTube and it just won't stop. So yeah, we're having these natural endings and these new beginnings. And so it's like take responsibility, be accountable for the things that maybe we weren't accountable for, or maybe hold others accountable for things that we didn't. I know that was definitely me, where I let certain things go and I just whatever, just didn't call people on certain actions and behaviors. And I think I know better now, and I'm quick to like realize things and quick to realize the lessons, um, and taking responsibility and holding other people responsible and boundaries. So I think this is good. And look, wands is fire energy.
I
Very
think what I'm getting from the responsibility is also talking about like the structure and stability. Whenever we were just talking about that, like that's also being responsible. Like take care of your responsibilities that
yes.
you have. Don't get lost in that adventurous sort of Sagittarius spirit, because that's very much like the travel and adventure. Like make sure you are also focusing on those responsibilities that need to get done. I
Right.
can be guilty of getting into that adventurous, put off the
No,
responsibility.
I love to travel. I love adventure. It's like escapism, right? It's like that Pisces
Mhm.
energy of escapism. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, we have to get ourselves back to reality. So
Yep.
let's use our last moments of Taurus here, with the Jupiter and Taurus, to try to like get things stable with all of our communications. So
Absolutely.
cool. All right. Well, Ashley, it was good having our conversation, and I think we're wishing everybody a happy full moon. Hopefully, it goes smoothly, easily. Charge your crystals, do your moon water,
Yes.
cleanse, write letters. You can burn. That was another thing. Like you could write something and burn it.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
that good stuff.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you,
All right.
Nellie.
Well, thank you for joining me, Ashley. It's always a pleasure. I'm excited for you to do good stuff, and people can always reach out to you if if you're doing readings like with, or
Yeah.
you're connecting with spirit. If people want to connect to their loved ones who passed, um,
Absolutely.
everybody has somebody who's passed in their life that they want to connect with. I don't know if you connect with pets too. I know some people do that as well. So
I'm not attempted to do pets. I'm just taking one thing at a time.
right, right. This may be towards the
Well,
future.
people
Yeah,
aren't for me.
yeah. You can connect with my dog who passed. Somebody connected with my dog who passed recently, and a couple people did, and so she's doing well. So yeah, that made me happy. I was like, I didn't know you could do that, but apparently you can. So
Yeah. Yeah. I know people.
awesome.
I know people. Yep.
All right, well,
Absolutely.
sounds good. We'll have a good rest of the day, Ashley. We
Yeah.
will
Thank
thank
you.
everybody for joining us on this beautiful day, and yeah, we'll be back. I guess we'll be back in June. We're going to be in June soon, so yeah, we'll be back sometime in June, and we'll